Here to help us make sense of this is Richard Sauer, author of Selling America Short. He also spent a dozen years as an attorney with the SEC, and I'm so glad you're here because there are so many questions surrounding Groupon, and you can offer some clarity on that. Now, your book chronicles what you call crooked companies. Does Groupon show any signs of being a crooked company?
Oh, I think it's way too early to say that. I mean, at this point, what you have is a fairly routine process. Whenever a company does an IPO, whenever it files a registration statement with the SEC, it's going to be examined, and examined pretty carefully. And it's very common for the Division of Corporation Finance to offer comments on the registration statement. You know, does it have all of the necessary information? Is it in the right form? Is there anything that's confusing or internally contradictory? And then the company will respond and, if necessary, amend its offering documents.
But to invent a whole new metric, isn't that a little concerning?
It is, and I think that's what's, inferring a bit here, just from what has been in the media, that seems to be what is causing digestive problems at the SEC with this. It does sound like it's getting some resistance, and it sounds like it's because of the pro forma number that the company is pushing very hard.
And you actually say that Groupon is giving itself heartburn by doing it this way. Why doesn't Groupon just go about it the normal, traditional way to avoid these kinds of questions?
Well, I think that's always a question when a company comes up with a pro forma number that's outside the usual categories. Not EBITDA, not free cash flow, not anything that's easily verifiable and understood by the market, because it gives anybody that doesn't like the company something to shoot at. And it's much more likely to cause questions to be raised at the SEC than if it was using more conventional metrics.
Could this delay the IPO?
Sure. I think it probably already has. The company has done. The review process typically takes 3 to 5 or 6 months. It would be anybody's guess, but they're going to have to do another round of comment letters and responses, and quite possibly another amendment. So, I don't know, guessing, say, a month?
Now, this isn't the only misstep that Groupon has made. Chairman Eric Lefkofsky violated the rules of the quiet period when he told us that Groupon would be, quote unquote, wildly profitable. The CEO, Andrew Mason, well known for being a funny guy, toned down his funny note in the S-1 filing. Does that raise red flags to the SEC?
It causes a significant amount of upset because the company was in the quiet period. They weren't supposed to be making any kind of promotional statements, and that is dramatically a promotional statement. So the company had to, if not exactly retract it, tell people not to pay any attention to it.
Now, the Google founders famously made a similar mistake back in 2004 in talking with Playboy. Are these just bumps in the road like that?
It was for Google. I think it will be here. I don't think that is going to cause a serious problem with the offering.
So what should we be watching for? Are we looking for an amended filing?
Look for an amended filing and any other indications that there may be other problems with the review at the SEC. At this point, there really aren't any indications of that. And if that's all it is, if it's just the pro forma number, the company can fix it by just taking it out.
All right. Richard Sauer, author of Selling America Short, SEC Insider. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be watching Groupon closely.